Hello everybody, back again, Harold here. Another week of training done. This is week 11. More than two hands now. So weird. We were like way back here not too long ago, and now it's already week 11. It's a fascinating place to be at. On my training breakdown, I got a little page that I make up every single time, and I've only got 2 of these left. It's just crazy. There's officially 9 weeks. That's it, 8 weeks now. There's 9 minus 1 day, 8 plus 6. If your weeks start on Monday. Mine starts on Monday. I can't believe it. It's crazy town. This was my 2nd week build up. So now I'm on a cutback week, which is wonderful. I really need it. I could feel the end of this week. So let's get into this week before I get on to the other fun stuff that I've got lined up for you today. F45 workout. It was a wild circuit workout. There were 14 circuits. You sat down at each station and you were there for 2 minutes, and you did 2 minutes of whatever that exercise was. One was doing squats to a low bench, like the 8-inch bench, the 10, 12-inch bench. You do that for 2 minutes. The other one that was truly amazing was pushing a really low sled. So basically your knees were up at your chest and you were pushing through. How do I do that every day? This could be 3 times a week thing. And I believe that would really help in crushing these long at altitude climbs that we have coming up. Some are less technical than others. I got down one row and felt really good. It was okay, there's 120 pounds on this, and it felt hard. I dropped another 40 pounds on it, and you could feel that extra, you really got to try for that one, which was really cool. So gave it a real good try for that one. Did 3 more pushes up and down. So really fun exercise. Anyway, got through that. Hill workout on the treadmill, incline. It's an incline that'll go forever because you can set it at whatever you want. I continued mine at 12% at 3.8 miles an hour. And that's at a running speed. So not the hardest running speed I could probably do, but I'd rather have, I feel like I'd rather have the effort put in, but not over trying it, especially on a long week. I'd rather have a good, strong effort than a push effort. So got that done. It was a 6-mile total workout with a 15 cool down, 15 warm up. I always say that backwards, 15 warm up, 15 cool down. Got good elevation. I think it was right around 1,400 feet overall. The next day was a 2-hour my own spin class. Warmed up, got out of the saddle for 3 minutes and pushed at varying degrees of difficulty, and then I did a sprinting session of 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 2 off, and continued to build those until I got right towards the end of a 20-minute cool down, and continued to build the strength and not the duration, I kept the duration the same, but just the strength and the overall challenge of it. So I turned it up a little bit more each time. It went by a lot quicker than I thought, which was very nice. So got that done. I equated that to 7 miles. This bike didn't have the mileage on it, but I know my pace on a bike from biking in my past. That was probably equivalent to a 22-mile ride with those efforts and the small breaks. So I gave myself 7 miles, basing it on the 3-to-1 ratio. Everybody's got a different ratio for their stuff. Thursday was an off day. great day. Went and did a side job. If you've been following me on my Instagram and Facebook, went and did a side job. Wound up doing 2 side jobs for another neighbor. Had a good day there, rested a whole bunch, ate some great foods. Friday, got out early and did 2 miles before I picked up our friends and did the 6-mile loop for Freaky Friday. And then woke up ridiculously early and started at 5:30 a.m. out in the parking lot all alone. All my other friends have like done their 100s, so nobody's training for another 100, so nobody's coming out at 5:30 anymore. Swung back by at 7, picked up a group, continued with another group of friends for the next little while, and then at the end of that, my daughter was out running with my wife, and I told them where I was finishing up my run. They came out, and we finished the last like almost 2 miles together. So that was really cool. It was a great way to break up my whole 22-mile long run. And did nothing the rest of the day. I was uselessly wiped out. So, and then Sunday we got out and it was pole day. We did a 5-mile warm up, run, jog, hike, and then broke out the poles, and then it's run, jog, hike with poles. So getting that used to getting them, getting them out of the pack and getting them on and getting going and adjusting yourself from, like running down a hill with them and then slowing down, hiking up the hill, getting that proper technique and use out of, and making sure that I'm working my upper body good enough to be able to handle these, and I have ones that have gloves on them, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. So week done, it was 55.7 mile week. I had 50 on my ratio. I didn't quite know how I was going to adjust or do on the bike. I think that was fine. I could feel a little bit in my, little bit of pain coming down here. Everything was getting tight on my feet, and my shins started to give me a little bit of So long week, good time to have a cutback week. I'm looking at 32 miles this week, so wonderful. I'm up to 511.8 miles. Okay, so let's get into today's fun facts and stuff. I mentioned last week that, it's time to start training with everything we can, and we need to pack everything up and have everything with us for these long runs so that we know everything works. And this week, here's my poles, or sometimes referred to, if you have them out of your back, people are confused and they think you're carrying swords. Have you ever been asked, are those swords? I've been asked more than once. And you're out in the middle of the woods in like a state park. Are those samurai swords? And the guy totally stunned me at first. I didn't even know how to react. No, they're poles. Well, the next time I just went along with it and said, yeah, I bring my mini swords and I'm a professional sword artist and I practice out here in the middle of the woods, and went on and it was great fun until I had to just tell them, no, I'm not bringing swords into a place where you're not allowed to bring weapons. Like, come on. Anyway, fun things maybe you've had this experience too. I don't know. These are my poles. They're in an Ultra Solomon quiver, which I really like and easily accessible out of the back. I have a Solomon pack which uses the little bitty connector here and the little bitty tumbler connector down at the bottom. There's lots of people who address this issue. If you don't have a Solomon pack and you want to get the quiver for ease of use out of here and you don't like them, this blah, 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 you just get a strap, a piece of webbing from anything. Measure this little part right here, put marks on your pack, and put a little loop right there. Just sew it on. Easy peasy. And so, yeah, these are mine. They're the FX. Let me give you the quick rundown real quick. See if I can't get back into my fanciful iPad. These are the Leki Ultra Trail FX1, which is a little thicker than the ultralights. I want it a little thicker just because I'm tall and I'll put a lot of force on them and I know how I use them. I wanted that, it gives you 2 mil extra on all of the shaft diameters. That's the biggest thing, and they weigh like, I think 2 ounces more. Mine are the 125 millimeters, which is also 50 inches. They're 185 grams at that height, which is 6.5 ounces. I really enjoy these. They snap together really well. I've used Lekis my entire ultra running. These are the first carbon poles that I've ever got myself. They expand, jump in, they got the little tumbler lock here. Very easy to manipulate and use. They got the low grip so you could pop out of your glove, which is here. Yeah, I'll probably take out the wrong glove for the right one. Let me see if I can't get the glove on here real quick. Yeah, see, this is why you train, so that you know which glove goes on which hand. I mean, it's kind of obvious with these. You can only put the thing on. Goes like that, snaps in, easy peasy. Do that, snap out, just that simple. Sometimes I find it a little hard when I'm on, after a long duration run, when I'm in the end of it. I've got a little arthritis coming on my thumb, and I find it a little hard, but it's pretty easy if you hold down, you're logged in like this, hold down and give it a push down on it and give it a good stab in there as you pull up at the same time. It relieves a little bit of that tension on your thumb joint. Otherwise, just go do it with both hands. You know, it's really easy that way too, because I got arthritis and this one's especially jacked up. At any rate, use the heck out of these things. They've done 2 races. And I've felt the flex in them. So they're carbon, you know, I'm hoping that I'll get a good long life out of them with being a little thicker. So they got the quick adjustment for when you're going uphill. You can really quick get out of them and just use this neural part, which I do. And then on the downhill, they're long enough for me for my 125 that I can just hold my hand up like this and get a good grab on them, or I can, you know, use the whole grip and grab up a little bit on the top, and I'll take them out to do some of that really long stuff. All you want to do is center your weight. You're really not like holding on too much. These are great for not holding on to, because they got that little clip right there, and most of the time you swing through, and I really never touch the pole. It's just swinging through like this, and I'm pushing down right on that, and it does stabilize the weight across. So, oh, little poppy noise. That's my real quick review of the Leki Ultra FX1s. I was so happy. The only colorway that they had when I got to go buy them was the hot pink, which is the non-favored color apparently. Everybody seems to like the red one. I enjoy the really hot pink color. They really do stand out. So, yeah, that's a little quick review of some Leki poles. I'm gonna post, I'll find my 2 videos that I've sent out to friends who are learning how to use poles. Maybe they've updated, maybe Leki's updated and have a post about using these poles specifically, but it's more about how to use poles and the technique of using poles, which is very important. It's important to understand how to use all of our pieces of equipment. So learning how to do those from good resources is a very good thing for us as ultra runners to do. And what else was it? Oh, I took all of the nipples out of all of our drinking bottles and cleaned them. And you should do that. Please go do that on your day off this week. Take them all out. I don't have a long pipe cleaner thingy to get the hose. So I had a brand new pair of shoelaces hanging around, and the shoelace, if you wiggle it and push it a little bit, goes all the way through the hose. And then I tied the other shoelace on in a surgeon's knot, which is the over, kind of like you just tie the double knot, but you tie it over, and it won't come apart. And left a long lead on each end, put a little bit of soap in it, and ran that knot back and forth through the hose. Worked out really, really good, and oh my Lord, that was absolutely disgusting. Like, to the point, like, I noticed in the last like week and a half, I couldn't suck really good out of it. When I got the nipple apart and everything, there was like this, it was just a clog. Yeah. What a life we've been living, right? Seriously. We do this and then just go out and clean all your nipples and stuff. Like, get it done. With that, Crazy Mountain Ultra just put out their Instagram, I believe on their Facebook too. They just posted some of the swag that they've been getting in. The artwork looks really, really cool. Really proud of that group for starting to putting out all the stuff that they're putting out, for one, keeping us engaged and interested. So give them a follow, give them a like. You know, they're doing amazing work for us in 9 short weeks, 7 weeks of training, 2 weeks of taper. With that, everybody, have a great week 12 of training. We got 8 more weeks. Clean your nipples, carry your poles.